do cool person stuff.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and ease my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life.
Hi, it's Wesley, and welcome to the finale of International Zine Month. You just saw day 29, the official prompt for which is take a photo of you with your zine or zine collection and post it online. So I selected a few of my very, very favorite zines that are very close to my heart, and I will be linking to all of those zines in the description so that you can see them for yourself. And at some point in the future, I'll do a larger, more detailed roundup video of all of my favorite zines. The free zine for this prompt is a little mini zine titled Tour, and that is by Aisling. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. And this is basically a really cute little mini zine that has a huge variety of stuff packed into a mere 16 pages, I guess, because it's double-sided. And it's really great and it's really cute. It has a lot of stuff on different types of hobbies. It has stuff on travel, stamp carving, collage, and feng shui, and drawing, and like all of this stuff in this little mini zine. And I really love the magazine collages and drawings and just how they take full advantage of the mixed media in just this tiny little mini zine. So highly recommend that you download that, and I will link everything below. So we'll move right along to number 30, which is write a letter or online post about your IZM 2021 experience. This is close enough. So I have had loads of fun, and I really feel like this is the closest that I've ever felt to the zine community and the most involved that I've ever felt with the zine community in the years since I've been a zinester. And really, I don't think I've been this excited about projects and this excited to talk to people and work on things since middle school. And the reason I bring up middle school is because that was when I made my very first zine with a few other classmates, and that is what I'm going to talk about for day 31. So the free zine that I have for this prompt isn't exactly a zine. It is actually a book on zines that is available for free online to read. It was published in 1988 by Mike Gunderloy, and it is titled How to Publish a Fanzine. And this is so much fun to look through just to get sort of a historical perspective on things and to see how DIY culture has persisted. And if anybody starts talking about how zines are dead or print is dead, I feel like that's less common now, but 5 or 10 years ago, that's all anyone would talk about, and they'd just go on about how books are dead and print is dead and zines are dead. It's like, no, they are not. They are just as popular now as they've ever been, and here, just the number of things in this book that are relatable, I think is good proof of that. So, How to Publish a Fanzine. It is an entire book. It is like short-ish. It's like 90 to 100 pages, something like that. So you can definitely check that out. And it's worth even just a little skim through. Day 31 is Hallowzine. Remember, zines and zinesters that are no longer with us. So for this, I decided, what better time than now to show off my middle school zine, which was a newspaper that I made with a bunch of my friends called The Paper Peoples. This project was the brainchild of a friend of mine, and initially it was an online blog style newspaper, school newspaper. The school that we went to, it was a K through 12, and like the major section, I guess, that we were all in there was 7, 8, 9, and then 10, 11, 12, and we were all in that category. So initially it was going to be a school newspaper that had stuff about the school and, the sort of things that you'd find in any school newspaper, but we had a very unusual school, and there frankly wasn't a whole lot to report about that we thought would be especially interesting. So we talked about a few school events, and they were usually on the front page, and the rest of it was basically just a collaborative zine with all of the people who were in the class. By the way, this turned into an official class. We had these student-run electives, and we, when I say we, it was me and 2 other of my friends, and we were the editors, and we ran and taught this elective class, where we all got together and made the zine. So we made it monthly, or at least tried our best to make it monthly. I think we ended up skipping a couple months here or there. And we made it monthly for a solid, year and a half, I want to say. Something like that. School year and a half. This particular issue is the May 2011 issue, and it is one that I have managed to save. I have 3 right now that I can find, and my friend, one of the other editors, has many more saved on an old computer, and we keep talking about getting those off eventually, but for right now, I'll show this one off, and I just love this so much. So this is The Paper Peoples, our slogan, all the news we print in fits. And so, I'm just going to walk you through this zine. This front article is titled, "We're Speechless, Day of Dialogue, a Huge Success." And the Day of Dialogue was basically like a special event that the school did every year to talk about issues that were affecting the world. There were frequently protests that students arranged at that time. It was really great. And the subject for this particular year was Indigenous peoples. So here we had a section on environmental racism, and I'll just go ahead and skip to page 7 real quick so we can finish that one up. And we talked about how Native American populations are affected by type 2 diabetes, or rather how type 2 diabetes affects Native American people. We had, we had quite a few sections that were covering aspects of the Day of Dialogue, which was really great. Here, this is amazing. So we also had the student cafe called Happy Mocha, which I've mentioned a couple times, and it basically we worked with them so that every month we would get a couple of $5 gift certificates, basically like $5 coupons for Happy Mocha. And we had this monthly treasure hunt that we put into our zine, where basically we worked with the librarian and we would select a particular book in the library, and we made sure that it was one that was rarely used, rarely checked out. And then we would give people a bunch of hints that would lead them on a treasure hunt throughout the school. And then whoever found the, we had a little totem, it was like what was it? I totally don't remember. It was like a little stuffed animal or something, but whoever found the little totem could then turn it into the newspaper room to get a free Happy Mocha coupon. So that was fun. I honestly can't really remember if anyone actually did it, but it was really fun putting together. So we had that. We all had pseudonyms also for this. And I don't know why. I think Yeah, I really don't know why. But, you know, it made it more fun. So here is, we had all the writers who had such amazing nicknames, such as Hyper Munchkin, I Own a Horse, Passion for Fashion, and that's spelled Fassion, like passion, which I thought was really cool. Utterly Awesome, Kamikaze Gamer, Fluffy Unicorn, Drama Llama Mama, Helicopter, and we had the editors who, at the time we had 4 editors. I was Minerva. For whatever reason. My friend was Sam Spade, who, he was the one who did most of the formatting. I did most of the actual, like, copy editing and content editing. We had Cephalopoda, who was our photography and image editor, I think. And we had Flotsam Jetsam, who was basically our editor in training because Sam Spade was graduating, and so we were trying to train Flotsam Jetsam to work on layout, because that was definitely one of the more complex things. And she ended up doing a really great job, so I'm really happy that she was able to sort of keep this alive after we were gone. I think it's sort of phased out now, but that's okay. Let's see what else we have in this issue. We had Drama Llama Mama's useless website monthly list, because that was naturally the thing that everyone was obsessed about in the computer lab, was random comic websites and games websites and QWOP and all of these things that were very new, and so we had big list. And just to date this exactly, we have Nyan.cat at the very first. We have RateMyMustache.com. And we had a Flash game called Flabby Physics. All of which are pretty dated now. Let's see. Here we had the Bizarre Animal of the Month, which we did that for a couple months, I think. Or not we did it, but I Own a Horse wrote that and produced that every couple months. This one is the Komodo Dragon, and it's basically just a bunch of cool animal facts. It's like, I'm all for that. Let's see. Every month, Passion for Fashion did a fashion horoscope thing, which it wasn't really a horoscope in this. It didn't have anything to do with star signs. We did have that later, so don't worry. And I'll just read a little section. Good afternoon, faithful readers, attractive and unattractive ladies and gents. Welcome to the Passion for Fashion horoscope, where you will learn about what is in and what is out. You will look absolutely wonderful if you follow these simple tips. Here are the fashion tips of the month. The new look is adventurous. Wear straw or felt hats and a trench coat. Wear lots of 1812s clothes and awesome leather boots. Rough and tough is in. Go with something comfortable and fashionable. Remember, if it's not comfortable, it's not worth wearing, etc. Oh, and by the way, we also had a whole bunch of secret codes that were thrown in throughout, which we had as sort of a special, super secret Happy Mocha coupon adventure thing. It was really fun. Let's see. Cephalopoda did a Mad Lib with such blank categories as vegetable native to New Guinea, philosopher, body of water, non-existent color, piece of technology. Much more fun than your regular adjective, verb, noun Mad Libs. Let's see. Oh man, here's the, we also have the Okapi as a second animal of the month. We have, from the mysterious journals of Jared Narin, explorer lost in the Bermuda Triangle, as found and published by Flotsam Jetsam. So this was a really cool, short story, basically, that was published serially. And it was published in the style of journal entries. That was really cool. Let's see. Here we have Dr. Fabian Dr. Fabian DeForest's Mythology Pocketbook, which basically was just a feature on a different mythological animal. I don't know why we were super into animals this year, but, I'm not complaining. Here's all of the instructions for our monthly treasure hunt. Let's see what else we had. Oh, we have the Corner, which basically we just gave mostly everybody or anybody who wanted it a little section or a little corner where they could write whatever they wanted, just a little snippet of something. So this one had a part 1, and this was a short story called The Sighting of the Demon Mongoose. We had someone who literally went around and just counted. They had a monthly count, that was Flotsam Jetsam, but I feel like someone else worked with her on it. But anyway, we had a monthly count where we would go around and just count a bunch of random things. So, let's see. This time we were counting the second floor north alcove with the flamingo table. 2 tables, 8 chairs, 10 lights, 2 windows, 5 pieces of art, 2 doors, and that is the monthly count. Here we had a passage shout out, and passages were basically these projects, like these independent study projects that students had to do in order to graduate. Like you had to finish 5 different types of passages in order to graduate, in addition to classes and things. So this was, and they're basically like passion projects, learning about whatever you want, and there were sort of loose themes to fit with that. And so this one we had, today's Amazing Passage Award goes to Mason K for doing his DOR on building a motorcycle, a Kicker 5150. And Mason was a friend of mine, and we actually went to the same elementary school. So that's pretty cool. Here was my corner, which was dunce, because, the old style thing if you have the dunce sitting facing the corner. And I had an interesting fact of the month. And this interesting fact, the interesting fact for this month was the average typist, that means the majority of you guys, types around 30 to 45 words per minute. That may be different now, I'm not sure. If you know your way around a keyboard, you can probably reach 60 words per minute, that's 1 per second, without too much trouble. In a single-space document with 12-point Times New Roman font, not including a title, name, or date, there are approximately 500 to 600 words. This means that to write a 2-page double-space evaluation at 45 words per minute, it should take about 11.1 to 13.3 minutes to type the words. With another 10 to 15 minutes added for time to think about the words you are going to write, it takes about 20 to 25 minutes to write your rough draft. Adding another 20 minutes for self-editing and miscellaneous activities like saving the document, transferring it to a flash drive, and printing, it should take you a grand total of 40 to 45 minutes to write an eval from start to finish. To put things into perspective, that is approximately 75% the length of an episode of House MD, including commercials, 49% of the time it takes to play Stairway to Heaven back-to-back 10 times, 0.0016% the average lifespan of a housefly, 0.00042% the time it takes for a mini watermelon to ripen, and 6.11, etc., times 10 to the negative 6% of your life so far if you're exactly 14 years old. So stop complaining and write your dang evals. And just for a little context, which I realized I probably should have given you before I was reading this, students had to write an evaluation of their class, and it was sort of like the teachers would give you an evaluation and they would give you a grade, so to speak, but you also would write a self-evaluation as a way of reflecting on how you did in the class, and that would sort of be taken into account. All washed up was the corner of Flotsam Jetsam, which this one is a bunch of quotes from books that she liked to read, so I'll just read my favorite. Hello, inner child, I'm the inner babysitter, which is from Hogfather, a book by Terry Pratchett. Then we had an Ask corner called Ask Dana's Hat, and Dana was a teacher who was notorious for having this very large straw hat that she wore every single day, and so rather than have an Ask Shirley column, we had Ask Dana's Hat, the hat knows all. So people could submit questions to Dana's Hat, which we then had in the editorials page here. So people didn't send in that many questions, to be perfectly honest, so it was mostly internal questions. But let's see. Oh, and anyone who wrote in a letter, we would make some sort of joke about their name. So here it says, sincerely a parent, and we wrote, dear a parent, and, goes on. And Sam Spade was the one who wrote most of those, and I wrote Dana's Hat answers, so I was officially Dana's Hat, although I was really speaking on behalf of the hat. We had games and entertainment sections. We usually had comics. This particular one didn't have comics. I drew a lot of comics. Here we had a big Sudoku puzzle. And we had, let's see, a word search for all of the pseudonyms of the writers of Paper People. So Sam Spade is right there. We had a spot the difference thing that someone made. Let's see. So yeah, that's the puzzle pages for this one. We had, let's see, what else did we have? Oh, here's more. We did a whole lot on the Day of Dialogue because we really liked it. So we had sections about, let's see, the Denver Indian Center, which is a Native American organization in Denver. They came and presented, and so we wrote up on that. And that was like our main article for this whole issue. Jeez, I forgot how long these were each time. Oh, okay, the horoscopettes. This was one of my favorites, and we split it up so that each person would write their own horoscope. I think originally we had one person doing all of them, and it just got to be too much, too overwhelming, and they sounded a little samey. So each of the different writers would take their horoscope or their sun sign or whatever they wanted, and they would write a horoscope for it. That was really fun. Let's see what Libra says. Libra, September 23rd to October 22nd. I'm Libra, by the way. For some reason, you are very passionate about buffalo this month, whether it is the grass-eating living type or dead on your plate in the form of a fatty patty. You want them all. You have now become a fan of the CU Buffaloes, and you have royally pissed off your friends the Aries with your talk about how the CSU Rams will be smashed by the buffalo. Just watch your mouth and keep eating those yummy patties. So, that sort of thing. Let's see. If you want to hear your horoscope, let me know, and I will share your future from 2011. And we frequently had reviews of things. Here's a monthly review, but of a video game called Infamous, and it is, according to this, an action/sandbox game set around the adventures of an anti-hero villain, Cole McGrath. And so that was by I Own a Horse. And we did restaurant reviews, we did movie reviews, we did a whole bunch of different reviews. We usually gave one for each. And then here on the back, thank you for your year-long support of the Paper People's Happy Reading. The back article we have was by Drama Llama Mama, and it is Weird Things Science Left in Your Body. And it was basically all of the stuff about your not just your appendix, but other reactions and other things that we had become adapted for that are now not really useful in modern life. We had stuff about wisdom teeth. So that's just one little look through one issue of the Paper Peoples, which was my old zine. And as you can see, it is sort of in the style of a newspaper, but given the fact that we had one news article per, like, one news-ish related article per issue, I feel like this was definitely more of a zine than it was a newspaper. But either way, like, it's close enough. The only difference is that, like, if we stapled this, you could almost certainly say that it was a zine, right? So I had such a blast working on this, and this is one of my very best memories just of my entire childhood, and I am so glad to be back into it, and I'm so glad to be doing zines again and to capture a little bit of this magic, and I'm very happy to be able to share this with you. I do have still 2 other issues. We have the November 2010 issue, and we have the January 2011 issue. Maybe I'll do some sort of zine read aloud. I don't know, but if you ever want to see more of these zines, then I'm always happy to talk about them. And in addition to the very last prompt, I have one last free zine to share with you all. I will be doing future videos with more free zines. I have this series that I'm planning on starting called Free Zine Friday, so keep an eye out for that. There will be more free zines in the future. But for now, a good one to end on, I think, is Wrong Brain. And this one that I'm especially going to be highlighting is Wrong Brain number 2, but there are multiple issues all available for free to read online, and many of them have audio versions that you can listen to as well. This is a really great collaborative zine that I feel like it's pretty loosely defined. There's not really a theme, but there's definitely a vibe that constitutes the whole thing. So it has collage, it has drawings, and it's all in color, and it's really beautiful. And it has just little snippets of thoughts that people have, of worries that people have, and it's just... It feels like such a nice community zine, and it feels like a good reminder of... there's this German word that I can't remember the word, but basically it is the passing realization that everybody around you has a life that is just as rich and complex and layered as yours. And that is what this scene reminds me of. So, Wrong Brain, if you want to start somewhere, start with number 2, but, you know, you can start wherever you want. I just like number 2 a lot. And those will all be linked below. So that's about it. That makes 31 days, 31 prompts. Not exactly 31 videos, but, you know, 31 answers to prompts in video form. And I had a really great time. I'm so happy to have met everybody. I am going to continue making zine videos throughout the year. This was just a really good excuse to really get going on them. So I guess I will see you next time with the next video. Thank you very much for participating in International Zine Month.